AMC stock is absolutely fascinating. Why? Not because of all the talk about synthetic shares and necessarily the talk about the high prices that can be derived from holding AMC stock, and not because of the community that's necessarily been built around it. It's because of the simplicity of the short squeeze. Guys, I don't know if you've realized this yet, but as an AMC stock shareholder, you determine the price. You determine how high AMC stock will go. And because of that, you absolutely determine your future. Okay? So I want to address a couple things in this video because there's a lot of, it's not even speculation about fake shares at this point or manipulation or corruption. It's a fascination. And I believe that if you guys are fixated on some level of corruption and fake shares, you're going to miss out on the bigger picture and the simplicity at the fact that you and I, shareholders of AMC stock, determine our future. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. And of course, if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2021 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. All right, guys, I know the big talk of the day was the fact that AMC was showing to have 3 billion shares in Brazil, right? I don't understand what the fascination is with synthetic shares or naked shares or these billions of shares that need to be out there. We absolutely do not need them in order to squeeze. Sure, it might be nice to have more shares out there than exist because that means the hedge funds have to buy back more shares. But it's one, very unlikely that any fake shares exist in that quantity. Sure, they probably do exist in the quantity of FTDs that are out there. Different story, different video. Let's talk about the fascination of, I don't know if it's the fascination of the AMC stock community on YouTube, on the internet in general, or what the deal is with it. But guys, we should be focused on one thing and one thing only. If we hold the stock and do not sell, which I know is what you and I are doing, right? We're not day trading AMC at this point. We're not taking profits when we see 5% gains or anything like that. The simplicity is fascinating for one reason and one reason only. All of the shares in AMC stock are already accounted for, right? We own all of the shares that are out there. And by we, I mean you and I, the retail investors, the day traders, unfortunately, and the institutions. Now, if everybody understood that, and if everybody understood that the hedge funds are guaranteed to buy the stock back once the short squeeze begins, and they're guaranteed to get margin called if volume goes down to zero, right? What happens? The short squeeze happens, the margin calls happens, and then they start offering prices. That comes down to you and I determining what price we sell our shares of AMC stock at. That is the only focus we need to have at this point. We don't need to overturn some rock in South America to uncover some ludicrous amount of shares in order for AMC stock to go high. Why? Because we own the supply. What happens if you own the supply and you're unwilling to sell it? Think about that for a second. If you go to the grocery store right now and you want to buy a gallon of milk, but the grocery store says, no, you can't buy that gallon of milk. Well, what if you offer them $100 for that gallon of milk? Well, no, they're still not going to sell it to you. You can't buy that gallon of milk. Well, I'll give you $300 for that gallon of milk. Nope, that's not for sale. I'll give you $3 million for that gallon of milk. No, it's still not for sale. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, if they are the only person that owns that gallon of milk and you want to survive, you're going to need to buy that gallon of milk. If they won't sell it to you, you can't buy it. You can't create a gallon of milk, assuming you don't own a cow, right? You can't create a gallon of milk just like they can't create a share of AMC and sell it to themselves. It's not how it works. So the simplicity of us holding our shares means that we absolutely get to determine the price that AMC stock goes to. Now, I know it's exciting to try and come up with a breakthrough, right? And I don't know where this started. I know there are a lot of other YouTube channels out there that their main focus at this point has not become a short squeeze, but their main focus has become one of two things: broader market education or the unveiling and unraveling of deep-seated market corruption to show you just how bad it is when we are doing exactly what we say we're going to do, but the price still doesn't do exactly what we want it to do. Guys, the market is bigger than you and me. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. The market is bigger than me. The market is bigger than you. The market is bigger than you and me. We, the 10,000 people that may watch this video, we don't own every share of AMC. Okay, we have bad days, we have good days, absolutely. And until everybody understands the concept that we own the supply and we determine the price, we're going to watch the volatility. We're going to see green days, we're going to see red days. But when everybody jumps on board, when all of the pieces fall into place, you know, it's going to be tough to wait for that day to come. But when that day does come, you need to be prepared. Okay, because if you get caught off guard, you're going to miss the short squeeze, and I don't want that to happen. If you feel, I don't know, distressed or depressed or just whatever word you want to insert there, you feel bad that we see these red days and you decide to get out of AMC, and the very next day they decide to cover their short positions, I think you're going to regret that. I can't determine if you will or not. You know, I don't know your feelings, but I feel like you would come to regret that decision. So think about that when you're feeling a little bit down when you see the red days, because this isn't something that they're never going to have to cover their shares. They will, but guys, it comes down to you and me. Remember, if we're willing to sell our shares at $30, they're going to cover at $30. If we're willing to sell them at $20, guess what? They can cover at $20. It's very simple. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Matt Kors, man. He did a very good job in explaining what ADRs are, what BDRs are. Guys, it is okay to trade a stock on a different stock exchange than its home country. But one thing I do want to address in his, I don't know, his explanation of BDRs and ADRs, don't think of them like clones, okay? Think of them more like ETFs, because when you start to say clones, people can get the impression that these are, you know, fake shares or made up shares or whatever. It's not like that, okay? That exchange buys those shares, locks them up. Same thing as with an ETF. They buy those shares, keep them in an account, and then they allow those to trade on their stock exchange. So you can go in. And in the example in Brazil, absolutely, man, one BDR or one share of AMC in Brazil is actually 1/6 of a share. They're trying to keep it roughly proportional to the exchange rate for $1 equaling about 5.4 Brazilian reais right now. And, you know, that's why they did that. It's 1/6, roughly proportional to the exchange rate. So it's trading around the same price. And, you know, if you multiply it out, you get the same market cap, you get all that stuff. He did a very good job of explaining it, posting all that on there. So I don't think that we need to go through it, because it seems to me like everybody that watches his channel also watches my channel. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure to go watch. He does a very good job explaining it and clearing up all of that doubt out there that there were 3 billion shares being traded in Brazil, which is not the case right now. So thank you very much, Matt, for doing that. And what else do we got? I'm pretty sure that's, you know, that's the main focus of this video, guys, is to don't be fascinated with something that may not exist, okay? Because we don't need that amount of shares. All we need is to make sure that we understand. If everybody understood that we control the supply, we control the price. And when we control the price, here's the thing that I am waiting to see during this short squeeze. I know you and I, put your price predictions or put this, you know, price that you're willing to hold out to in the description or in the comments below. But here's what I'm excited to see, okay? Because I have doubts surrounding people sometimes. I honestly do. I have doubts surrounding people's willpower to hold out. But knowing that we determine the price, I am excited to see how long you hold out, how long I hold out, and how high AMC stock can go. Because I know I know it is up to us. It's not up to the hedge funds. It's not up to the government. It's not up to some institutional investor out there. It is up to us to hold the stock, and I am absolutely fascinated to see how high we can take AMC. Now, guys, I want to know in the comments below right now if you are just as fascinated to see how high AMC stock can go, and of course, how high you think it will go. Let us all know down there. Inspire us to continue holding, inspire us to get through these red days, inspire us to wait for the mother of all short squeezes to happen. And of course, if this button is still red right here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, join us, become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. $100 is all you have to deposit on Webull. You're going to get a couple free stocks just for doing so. Sell those stocks, keep those stocks, whatever. They are your stocks. Make sure to click on every link down there as well. They're there for a reason. I wouldn't put them in there if they weren't there. So make sure to do that. ClayBro883 on Twitter and on Instagram if you want to follow me there. And of course, until the next time, I hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.